talking too, so.
There, we got it.
Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna put my, yeah. There we go. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the March International Sewing Bee. My guests today are Dawn, and of course, my camera is going to act up as soon as we go live. Let's put that back up there. Hello, Sylvia. Hello, Lori. How are you today? Camera, what are you doing? You're not allowed to do that to me.
It's hoping you make a grand entrance.
I guess so. I'll make my grand entrance. Silly machine. See if
Good
that
morning,
works.
Lori and Sherlock. Or Lori and Sylvia.
Good morning, Colleen. Good morning, Dawn. How are you guys today?
I'm good.
Good. Good,
Miss
good.
Dawn is here today despite some back problems this week. So we're having her. She is working on the project that's behind her. Which is 1,000,009 patches, I think is what she called it.
I think the actual name of this is spinning 9 patch. I really don't know because I don't have a pattern. I'm just winging it. So I saw a picture. I'm recreating it from the picture.
I do that a lot. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Very neat.
Colleen and I are both working from the Shamrock pattern from Stephanie Stitches, exclamation point pattern. We'll take you to the link. Stephanie's shop is closed until tomorrow, I believe, because she is out of town for a retreat. But when she gets back in town, you can buy it. It's a super fast, easy pattern. I have mine sewn up already, and I think Colleen's finishing hers. But this is what it looks like. And what I'm going to be doing on the live today is I'm going to be sewing my binding together, possibly doing free motion quilting online. And I'm not sure what stage Colleen's at over there. I'll let her show you where she's at.
I did 2 blocks last night because I am so slow. Plus, I resized it. So I had to redo all my figures because I changed them a little bit. I wanted to make sure they were going to work this morning, and they do. So I have half of it done.
My little piece of cardboard doesn't want to stay this morning. Oh, Sylvia's is done. Yeah, Sylvia's the overachiever here. She sent me a picture of hers. I think she's got it hanging on a door, Sylvia. Yeah, I thought my accessory was kind of cute. It's just a piece of fabric, but you know. Had to keep up with Colleen Jones over there.
I went to the Dollar Tree yesterday and they did not have any hanging plaques for St. Patrick's Day. So I got ribbon and made these thingies up here. Close as I could get.
I'm gonna attempt to touch my camera. And I'm just sewing binding. I'm sorry, Colleen, I didn't hear it.
I'm just finishing snowballing my corners on the other 2 blocks.
Okay.
what I'm doing. Let's see what I'm doing. I like seeing sewing.
Dawn said she's made about 1,000,009 patches.
Yeah.
Are
But
you doing
between
in
the-
color order or?
Well, one was completely scrappy, so the background was all similar. I guess I did two like that. And then this one is controlled because it's from Kona Solids, so it's all pre-cut. So I didn't have to do anything to pick out colors.
I like all those little 9 patches. I think that's the very first pattern I ever did was a 9 patch. And boy, was it wonky.
I can't even remember what I first did. Oh, I do too. It was of all things, this was before the internet, y'all. And I decided I bought like fabric on clearance at Walmart. And I decided I was going to make a quilt top. And I might have been 20 years old when I did this. I had a rotary cutter. I had watched Sewing with Nancy on PBS.
Oh, I love her.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I did not have a cutting mat, so I got out my Trapper Keeper. And it totally tore that Trapper Keeper to shreds, but it did cut my fabric. And yeah, I did not have a ruler. So, and I made a monkey wrench pattern or a snail trail pattern.
Oh,
And I
my.
did not know about 1/4 inch seams. So all my seams were 5/8 inch because I had previously made clothes and that's what the seam allowance was. I was not in the know.
Ah. So do you still have that quilt?
I do not. I hung on. I actually made 2 of them, one in the blue colorway and then one in a purple colorway, and the fabrics matched. I do not have it anymore. I held on to it because at that time I didn't know how to quilt it. I didn't know of any long armors in the area. Of course, there wasn't internet. So I hung on to it. And I think in 2006, I knew how much money I had in the fabric, so I sold them on a yard sale for $20 a piece, and somebody bought them, and they probably got quilted. That lady was a quilter, so
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
I wish now I would have hung on to them, but maybe not because it might have been a quilting nightmare because it was my first, so I really didn't know what I was doing.
Sylvia is asking what size are your 9 patches? What size are your
These
squares and your 9 patches?
So 2.5 inch pre-cut, and they'll finish at 6 inches.
So your little squares in each of your 9 patches are 2.5 inches?
Yep.
Wow,
well, that's
it
tiny.
looks tiny.
It does. I snowballed the corners and now it's just a 4-patch.
I like it, Colleen.
I do too.
Well, 2 at a time together and then a 4-patch. Thank you, ladies. Think my
Whatever
voice-
works. Oh, I should probably tell you guys, that order fabric that I ordered from Amazon. Well, hello, Brandy. Is not 100% cotton. It's a cotton poly, I think.
Yay, she was able to make it.
It's like Brandy's trying to get in but having issues. There she is.
Good morning,
Good
Brandy.
morning, Brandy. How are
Morning.
you? I don't think she can hear us. You have to, I think you may have to unmute yourself, Brandy. Or tell it that you want to join audio. Zoom works a little different.
I know she knows how.
Yeah.
Oh, you've insulted her. She left.
Picture.
It was.
And my camera's gonna act up again. Let me fix that. Oh, now it's gonna, okay. How you doing over there, Brandy? Says you're connected, but that you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Yep.
There we go.
Yay. Technology is fun.
That was a whole bunch of trouble.
And how are you this morning, lady?
Oh, it's been, and then I couldn't just click the link and get on. It made me type everything in, and I'm like, I'm technically challenged for somebody who works on a computer all night. I'm telling you.
It's a different thing, though. It's not the same. You know, the post office is still using stuff from 150 years ago. So.
This is true. This is true. So, how's everybody? Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're glad to have you here. So I think you may know Dawn from my quilt projects.
Yes.
Yes,
Hi.
everybody knows everybody.
Hey.
Good. And we are just kind of getting started, getting warmed up this morning. What are you going to be working on today? Did you bring a whip or a UFO?
I have, I'm working on the same thing you guys are working on.
Oh,
Yay.
awesome.
But I am further behind. I haven't cut my fabric. So I'm a little behind.
You're not behind. That's great because that means that those who are watching get to see every stage of the pattern.
Very true.
Colleen's piecing, I'm making binding, and Dawn is working on a completely different project, which is fine. Half the fun.
There you go.
Yep. And I think I've watched you cut fabric. You're very precise, which is cool. And I'm looking at the pattern that's up there behind you. Is that still your husband's quilt? Or is
No,
that another one?
that is sweet as honey. It came in my show sampler box. My husband's quilt is over here sitting. I need to make a couple more blocks and then it's ready to start putting together. I went to a sewing retreat and I was working on it and was 5 blocks in and couldn't figure out why 5 of them were so much smaller and realized I hadn't corrected a setting on my sewing machine and got really frustrated and put it away for a while.
I do that.
Sometimes they need a timeout.
Yep,
Yeah.
time out.
Exactly what
Probably
it's
been timed
called.
out longer than it should be. I really should take it back out of timeout.
I don't have a problem putting a quilt in timeout. I have 30 quilt tops in timeout right now.
And I don't think it says it in the directions. To be honest, I only read the directions once. The rest of it, I looked at the picture. But I'm putting these 4 patches together. I'm making sure to iron one side that way and one side that way, left and right, so they nest when I'm ready.
I think there is actually a reference to ironing directions in there, but I'm with you. I'm a picture looker. I look at the picture and then I do it.
And I know that I want it ironed away from the light side. So
Right.
side.
Exactly. And you can't always avoid that because the way they come together.
Right.
Sylvia's got 4 quilt tops in timeout.
4.
Yeah, that's nothing. Well, maybe I should ask you, how many do you have in timeout, Brandy?
I have 2 that I managed to get sandwiched recently, so they're only in half timeout. And then I have 2, 3, 4. I have 5 total in timeout if you count the 2 that are in partial timeout.
Well, it's probably a good thing that Tracy's not here first thing this morning, because Tracy loves to throw me under the bus about my 30 quilt tops in my box.
And the wheels on the bus go round and around?
I can show her that this is nesting. It goes that way.
She's probably asleep. I didn't message her yesterday and remind her that we had a sewing bee this morning. And she sleeps odd hours. Well, compared to some people. Your chicken basket's in timeout, Sherlock.
chicken
can't
basket.
feasibly. Brandy, how many you got in timeout? I saw that look. I'm at Dawn, not Brandy. Brandy just told
Oh.
me. My brain is asleep. I'm sorry. I need more coffee.
There's probably 8 or 9 that are just half done. And then I have, I think, around 13 that need to be quilted. I have one on the long arm that's been on the long arm since August. And I don't want to take it off because if I take it off, I'm quilting it in straight lines. And if I take it off, I'm afraid I won't be able to line it up and get them straight lines anymore.
Right.
But I'm to the point where I'm going to have to do something because I'm making prairie points and I'm layering the prairie points to make them look like dragon scales. So it's like a 3-dimensional effect. But my sewing machine, even though it's an industrial sewing machine, does not, or quilting machine, it does not want to sew through 24 layers of fabric.
I wonder why not.
So I'm now that the weather's starting to warm up and I'll be able to get in there, and I've kind of got a thought process behind that. I think I'm going to start minimizing the amount of prairie points. So I was doing it really dense. I'm going to start undensing it, I guess. So that one's the one that I don't want to work on. I don't want to.
Are you going to enter that dragon quilt in a show?
What's that?
Are you going to enter the dragon quilt in a show?
No, it's actually, once I get it done, it'll go to a baby that's already been born. I'm just so behind on it. And yeah, it'll be gifted away. And I will probably never do another one.
Oh, I can't blame you. That's a once in a lifetime deal.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
It does.
Yeah.
I hope you post
It's
pictures.
well, I'm making it because I know the dad likes dragons, and I thought, well, I'm not going to go make a dragon quilt for the baby, but how can I make it to where dad's going to really, really like it, and it'll mean something to him because I do work with him, and I'm thinking he'll really like it. His wife's kind of flaky, so I don't know. She's really, really young and kind of immature, so who knows? It might get thrown in the trash. You just never know.
Oh, I hope
Yeah.
not.
She's very, very, I'm really surprised they
Give
have
it with a
children.
note. If this isn't your thing, please return it.
Yeah.
Maybe
hello.
I should say that, hey, if you don't like
I think
this, I
all
want it back.
quilts should have that as a note. If this is in your
I
thing,
have-
please return.
When I've made knitted quilts,
Hi, Marie.
I would tell people that, I understand not everybody wants to
Yeah.
care for a knitted object. Or no,
Maybe I need to make a label for the back of it and say, if this quilt does not live up to your standards, please return to Dawn, and then put my last name on it and my address or something, because it could end up in the Goodwill or something.
quilts
Well,
are
yeah.
too expensive to
Okay.
do that with. I mean, just
Yeah,
to,
but they're young.
Yeah.
These young people have had
they-
everything handed to them, and they have no inkling of what hard work is, and they have no inkling about many things in life, but they think they're very, very wise, and they're
I had no clue how
This is the one we
expensive.
were talking about the other day, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the one.
So
I make a baby quilt for everybody that I work with if they're expecting, and I may retire that service because the youth of today, that's what I'm afraid of. The breaking point is probably 25. The 25-year-olds and younger, they don't really give a flip about how much work and effort go into anything as long as they don't have to do it. So I may retire that and not do it anymore.
Oh, there we go.
I have a 32-year-old who acts like that.
Really?
Yeah. And he's my son, so I'm like, I hate to say that, but yeah, he's yeah.
Yeah. And you never know, maybe this is a terrible scenario too. All these things go through my head. So maybe he will end up finding a different job and leave the company before I give him the quilt, and that way I can keep it. I don't know.
I was pleasantly surprised. The first one I made for one of my stepdaughters, I made it from denim and I put duckies on it and then just like straight line quilted it like it was raining. And I thought, she's gonna hate this. She's not gonna use it. Well, the first time I talked to her on Zoom, because she had the baby right as the pandemic started.
Mm.
It was like September, October, she had the baby, and pandemic started in March, right? Or February. But the first time I talked to her on FaceTime or Zoom, the quilt was hanging over the edge of the baby's crib. And I was like, that quilt is for use. And so now she gets it down and he like plays on it, which is
Aw.
awesome.
Aw.
Well, they're not, why have a quilt if you can't use it? I mean, you know, there are ones for pretty, but for the most part, I make mine to be used.
Me too.
They need another tag. This is a quilt, not a wall hanging.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're not. I think most of us make quilts for use. Very few of us are making show quilts. Dawn may be the exception.
What's that?
Well, you're the only one I know that has the knowledge, maybe, to be able to judge quilts for show quality.
Oh, okay.
Because I know
Yeah.
you took the class.
Yeah, I did. Have I ever judged any yet? No, only my personal judging. I've never done it. Nobody's called on me.
Lynn, you may
I've
be
not
correct about that. Lynn says she thinks youngsters have an attitude that they get what they want without the hard work so often.
Yes.
The
I
other
agree.
side of that, though, is I'm sure every generation has felt that way about the next generation.
Yeah, I can see that.
When
Yeah.
we get off of here today, I'm throwing this camera in the trash. It's not Zoom, it's the camera. But yeah, I mean, you know, I can remember my grandfather complaining about me and people my age, you young whippersnappers.
Entitled little punks.
Yeah. And you know, when his kids were coming up, you know, my mom was having kids in the 60s and stuff. So, you know, her brother was a long-haired hippie boy. Several of her brothers were long-haired hippie boys. And I'm sure they had plenty to say about that. Corrupt youth. All that long hair. I can hear my grandfather saying it. And I'm sure we sound about the same to our kids and grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't mean that there isn't some truth to it. But I think a lot of it is they just don't have any real life wisdom, even though they think they do. Hello, Don Denny. I don't
Good
go
morning,
live on
everyone.
Saturday mornings. This is our monthly sewing bee. And my camera is acting up this morning. Usually I have Miss Sylvia on here. She's not feeling well this week, but she is in the chat. And this morning we have Brandy from 100 Proof Quilter and Dawn from My Quilt Projects joining me and Colleen. And Colleen, I'm not meaning to like ignore you over there. You're just being quiet. That's a shock. Usually
on
you're more
mission.
talkative.
We're going to get this done before the hour is up. If I don't do that, I need to shut up.
Told you she was concentrating.
That's right.
I just talked about you, Tracy. I knew that was going to bring you out.
My husband a second ago while you were talking was in back of my monitor where the modem is digging around.
What's he
Okay.
digging around for?
That's what I said. I had to mute guys so I could, what are you doing back there? This is not a place he goes. I smell something burning. I can't find it.
Oh my God.
Could it be
Uh-oh.
my iron?
I'm trying to think of the comedian's name. She was the era of Eddie Murphy. I want to say Rosie Perez, Lisa Perez.
She had that squeaky voice.
Yeah, and her
Rosie
famous
Perez.
line was, "What are you doing back there?"
Yeah,
You remember her?
yeah.
That's exactly what I just thought of when Colleen said that. It wasn't in such a clean context.
Children start into things the second you're busy and can't attend to them. I'm not gonna say he does that, but
Yeah, mine does too. Mine had to go pick up his friend this morning for
that
because
is
they're
Oh, I
gonna work
couldn't have
in
done that
the
any more
yard.
perfect.
Oh, let me see.
who, me?
Yeah, you
Hey, look how far she's gotten.
pretty,
Got
I'm
the
still
pin.
still cutting.
very pretty. And I
I
got
am a
a
slow
glimpse,
cutter, so
I got a glimpse of Brandy's fabric, and I think she may be using one similar to mine.
So these are my fabric. So here's one of them.
Oh, pretty.
oh, that's pretty.
Here's the other.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
And then here's my background. You know, you guys all know how I like dark backgrounds.
I think dark backgrounds are cool.
And the dark background on that tossed shamrock's gonna look really pretty with that.
Oh, Ozark. I was going, Sylvia, what did you just type? She said she typed, "I'm loving your Roz Ark farm." She meant Ozark.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Good morning, Nancy. How are you today? And Miss Tracy's here, the world's best cheerleader.
Speaking of cheerleaders, I'm gonna mention real quick that Monday morning I am on at 6:30 a.m. Central and Brandy is on at 9 Central.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dawn, you still haven't started doing lives, right? Are you ever planning on doing that?
I would like to do lives, but I don't have the right setup, and I've got one iPad that the sound is messed up on, so I'm using my newer iPad, and I'm having success with it, but I had to move furniture to do this today. So I have a
Ooh.
great big old buffet that I moved this morning so that y'all could see what I'm working on, and it's sitting now in the middle of the room. So
I have seen that buffet. It's gorgeous.
thank you. It was my grandmother's. She wanted to put it in the dump because the wood is all shrunk on it, and she was tired of it. And my mom said, "Don't you dare, I want it." So my mom got it, and then mom gave it to me.
Dawn Denny asked if everybody is working the same project. No, Dawn. Whoops. My camera is just, it's providing entertainment for you guys today. If this was a
I thought
Halloween
it was-
live, it would be
I thought
great.
it was special effects.
It is special effects. There you go. Let's see. Let me put the pattern in here, and I'm gonna be special effecty again.
Melissa, all high tech, doesn't even try.
Exactly. That's the pattern that Colleen, Brandy, and I are working on, Dawn, Denny, and Dawn at my quilt project is working on a 9-patch quilt. Yeah. Wow. All right. I'm gonna move. Give us a terrible picture.
Feel like we're a little unsupervised now, ladies. Oh, darn, she's
Right?
Wasn't gone that long, Colleen.
Unsupervised.
You think 2-year-olds are bad? Leave me unsupervised.
Have y'all ever seen what Colleen gets up to when she's by herself on camera? I have. She chipmunk voices. She makes, bad jokes. Not that I'm immune to that one. And then she sits here and goes, "Hi, I'm Colleen with Colleen Sews and Chats." And I'm always ragging on her because I'm like, where did you get that voice from?
I feel like it's my commercial voice.
Doesn't sound
occasionally
like
I just wanna do-
commercials to me, huh, Brandy?
It's that technical support customer service voice.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Colleen Sews and Chats. How may I help you? Nailed it.
My customer
What?
service voice went to Harvard. The rest of it sounds like I came from the hills. Thank you for calling technical support.
Orders.
This is Melissa. How may I help you today? And I'm betting that Brandy sounds way different at work than she does on the computer.
I'm sure I do.
It is way easier to get your corners seams lined up when you don't have a camera sitting right here in front of you. I cannot get my corners matched up to save my life when I'm filming.
That's because you've got stuff in your way.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
right. I forget that I put fabric in my machine. I'm like, what is this fabric? Okay, that's right. I put that there.
I saw that the other day.
Well, my machine kept coming unthreaded, and I was like, I'm just going to do a starter and an ender. And then I was like, what is this here? That was lack of sleep.
I noticed that, like, the normal things that you do, like when I baste quilts, I do them on my ironing board. And when I do it, I just do it. You throw everything together and you spray it down and you iron or whatever. And then you try to do it on camera and it's like,
You
did I
just
do that
added a
right?
dozen steps to that simple.
Yeah, it seems like such a simple process, but then, oh yeah, and I fiddle here and I pull there and I cut this. And it's like,
Just
what
going
did
along
you
and
do?
be like, oh, I just air sewed 5 squares. That's wonderful. Sorry, guys, I got to redo that.
We need an air sewing competition. That's
Yeah, who can get there the fastest, right?
I can't wait until my corner is a room.
Have you expanded yet, Brandy?
I'm going to. I've been joking with people at work. I said, my husband's moving out. And people are like, what? I said, he's moving his office to the spare room.
See, you're a better woman than I am because I would have been pushing that design wall that you made back like an inch a week.
That's a good idea. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
no,
he's not going to miss an inch. And once he adapts to that, then you move it another inch.
exactly.
right.
And eventually it's all yours.
When I got the Cricut, I was like, so I'm gonna have to like take over the dining room table. And that's when he was like, yeah, no, I'm moving into the spare room. And I was like, oh, when was this decided? And how soon is it happening?
And why haven't you done this before?
Right.
That's the operative question. Why hasn't he already moved to the spare room?
See, this is true.
I mean, Wayne, I love my husband dearly, but his office is not what I would call organized.
My husband is extremely organized. I'm more disorganized than him.
Well, he used to have the space where my Juki sits in my house, and he kept expanding, like I'm talking about with your design board. He kept putting more things around his desk until it was like you couldn't walk from the kitchen to the living room without running into some of his stuff.
Uh-oh.
So finally I was like, okay, I'm giving up the guest room. Nobody's used it in 2 years. And let's move your office in there. He had to condense to move into the guest room. He was like, I don't have enough space. I said, tough, that's what you get.
Huh?
I mean,
Nah.
He's also got a 20 by 30 shed outside that he could, I'm trying to encourage him now to think about turning that into his office. You know, private space. The wife doesn't come in there at all. She's
There
not
you
complaining
go.
about your mess because she doesn't go in there.
Ah,
Yeah,
See?
I'm selling it, Bob. I'm working on selling it.
okay.
So Colleen, is that all 4 pieces of yours put together?
Yeah.
She got her whole top done. Yay.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
She's
Took me
way.
about 30 minutes each. Half section, I guess.
I
Right.
wasn't going to call her out for that, Tracy. Lori says she needs another spare room. She already has 2.
Lori,
Ah.
you're greedy.
Wow. I mean,
Here we are
I-
suffering with little bitty spaces. Lori's over there. I need another room.
I have been looking at places that have like extra outbuildings and like daydreaming. Hey.
I would take over the 20 by 30 shed because I would love to have that. But there's no bathroom, there's no kitchen. And, you know, I need a bathroom close by. I'm sorry, I'm a girl. If I gotta go, I gotta go now. And I need a kitchen so that I can get a cup of coffee and, you know, a snack.
Sure. Coffee is important.
Yes.
Which
She
Hers is like, "Bitch."
she finished the top and then she just like whisked it by the camera. Come on, Colleen. You know better. We're going to see. Yes. I like you. Is
I
that
can
the
see
back?
this in so many other fabrics. What?
Is that the back or the front?
That's the front. The sun is
'Cause it
messing.
almost looks like you've outlined everything in black.
Doesn't that Sweet Dreams quilt I had up? I thought that looked so cool when the sun hits it from behind.
Yeah.
And I could do that with bias tape. I'm not going to.
No, no.
But that is it's the rest of it. I need to put
Isn't
the
it pretty?
cornerstones. Huh?
Sylvia said that was, or yeah, Sylvia said that was so pretty. I said, yes, it is.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I apologize for not being in chat. I really wanted to get this done.
And she was worried she wouldn't get done in time, and here I am still cutting.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody,
Now everybody
looks at
sees
their own
everything in real
pace.
time. Yep.
And Dawn hasn't even started this project. It's not even on her radar.
There you go.
So everybody's at a different stage.
I remember why I didn't do these. Since I cut mine a different size, I wasn't exactly sure it would come out the size that I thought it should. So I didn't cut these. I was going to.
Now you modified the pattern so you could use charm squares, right?
Yes. And then I didn't use charm squares, but I still cut to that size.
Okay.
And I reduced the snowballing and the strips, the inside strips, to kind of fit that so they didn't stand out so much.
Is it fair to give out pattern variations?
I don't know. I try not to when I buy. Well, that's uncalled for. This it has 8 corners in months. Now it is.
Well, Sherlock's doing stuff. She's ironing fabric and she moved laundry around. And Tracy says she'll be right back. She needs coffee. I'm with Tracy.
I have heard if you change the size, it's your pattern. But especially with Stephanie's patterns, I would much rather people just go buy her pattern.
Yeah, it's very inexpensive and then you can alter it however you like.
Yep. Sorry, that's
And-
annoying.
That reminds me, I need to say this again. I've been really telling everybody, go to Stephanie's shop and buy this pattern. I didn't realize until Thursday that Stephanie's shop is closed because she's out of town. So she should be back in town and her shop should be open again tomorrow. So if you're looking for this pattern, go look for it tomorrow. I put the link for the pattern in the chat a couple of times, and I'll also put it in the description box once the live is over. But if you're looking for the pattern, it's definitely still available. The only reason you're not able to find it is because stuff shops closed temporarily. And I guess that makes
She
sense
travels.
because Etsy gives you like deadlines on how fast you have to ship things. It would really stink if somebody ordered the day she left and she didn't get around to it till she got back.
Mhm.
And then
Realize
someone
that's
would
you
be
did that.
complaining about not getting their order quick enough.
Well, and when she's out of town for a week, that means that she's not able to fill anything. I imagine she could get behind easily.
Yeah. And I know she prides herself on fast shipping, so. I think all the Etsy sellers that we have in our group of people do that. They either ship fast or they do digital and PDF.
Is it expensive to sell on Etsy? Does
I think
anyone
it can
know?
be if you don't sell much, because Sylvia has an Etsy and she was getting charged even though she wasn't selling anything.
Oh,
So that stinks. Okay, what was I doing?
Right? That would be horrible.
Right, I'm on that side. That's what I needed.
I heard the word horrible.
Yeah, to get charged when you're not selling anything.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Sylvia said that they do that. You know, it's like, I guess you pay a listing fee. I don't even know how it goes for sure, but I think you pay a listing fee when you put it up. And even if you don't sell anything out of your shop that month, they charge you another fee at the end of the month.
mm.
I don't think that's cool.
No. I think that's why a lot of people try to do their own website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, Randy, do you have that T-shirt handy that you used your Cricut to put letters on it? That looked really cool.
The one I actually made or the one that I'm getting ready to put letters on? I haven't put the
What's
letters
that?
on the one that says I drive fast and barefoot. I haven't put that on a shirt yet.
Ah,
I'm going to.
I have one that I made with my Cricut a while back. It says, "Yes, I sew. No, I won't hem your pants."
Ah,
sounds fair to me.
Yeah. And then there's another one. I just need to sit down and make it because I'm obsessed with this silly saying. And it is, your dog can stay, you gotta go.
oh, I like that.
I like that too. I think that's probably my favorite t-shirt I've ever seen. I'm not big on t-shirts, but that one's cute.
That one is cute. I like that one.
I feel that way a lot.
Okay, so I found a coffee mug that's got a picture of a sewing machine on it, and it has a saying, and it says, "I just had an out of bobbin experience. It left me stitchless."
Aw.
Isn't that cute?
That's
love it.
cute.
While I was watching videos on how to work my Cricut, a lady was talking about that she made a shirt that said with a seam ripper that said, "I'll stab a stitch."
I like it. Who are you watching?
For the I can't remember what her name was. I think it was Jean something. I saved her. I subscribed to her, but I don't think she's put out a video in a few months. So
I like Jennifer Maker.
I
If
think
you have-
I think I looked her up. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah,
no,
I like her
she's
videos.
got dark hair. She got dark hair.
Yeah, she's got dark hair. She usually wears an apron, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
I did save her. Yeah.
Yeah. And I used to really like Lori Noonemaker, but I've kind of been off her videos lately because I feel like she's gone into too many other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Her variety's gotten, she's too many, too much going on.
She's great at cricket. She's not so great at sewing stuff.
Ah,
And she's been trying to teach the cricket sewing stuff, and that's not her strong suit, in my opinion.
right.
Let me throw that in there real quick. Oh, Marie Brandy's going to teach you how to do it once she learns hers.
What am I
I've
gonna
done
teach?
I've done a few videos on my cricket, but I have a brother scan and cut, and I kind of like my scan and cut better than my cricket at this point.
What am I gonna teach?
Your cricket, you're going to teach
Oh,
cricket,
yeah,
so Marie
I'm
can learn it.
I'm actually working on a full EPP, including cutting the fabric, whole tutorial. I'm lining it out in the whole bit, so.
Good.
Oh,
I think
wow.
it's gonna be fun. I got all the I got a gift card for my birthday to Joann's, and I went and bought a bunch of fabric and cardstock to do the whole project. So that's my next project.
Nice.
Okay, Marie, then I guess I need to, well, Brandy needs to make a video of that. How to make a t-shirt showing your computer screen.
Oh yeah, I can do
I've
that.
done a few videos on basic stuff for my cricket, but I got caught up in chicken salad. I love Lori Holt, and I love the chicken salad quilt. So I got caught up in trying to figure out how to cut out my chicken salad shapes. And I ended up buying a brother scan and cut, and it worked way better than my cricket. It was so much easier.
I
You've
think
cut
you and
fabric
Brandy are
shapes.
conspiring. Make me want one. Second she did that unboxing, I was like, oh, I don't need one of those.
Brother scan and cut. I would buy the brother scan and cut. A lot depends though on
I was gonna say, isn't it more expensive, the brother scan and cut?
maybe it may be more expensive for the initial machine. Cricut, the thing about Cricut is you can buy a lot of knockoff like the mats and the cutting blades and stuff. You can get knockoffs of a lot of that stuff for a quarter of the price. I mean, I use knockoff cutting mats and stuff all the time. Welcome back, Tracy. You got coffee? It's a Cricut. That's how the company says it, Sylvia. Yeah, they are both pricey. It all comes down to what do you need the machine to do for you. And believe me, I've worked my Cricut a whole bunch. I've used it to cut vinyl, heat vinyl, fabric, paper. I've etched glasses with it. I've done all kinds of stuff, but when I was trying to do those chickens, I had to do something else. I just couldn't get the Cricut to do it. And believe me, we looked. We even tried altered software, if that makes any sense. But a lot comes down to what kind of understanding of graphic design that you have. I don't know what Dawn's
makes
studying
sense.
over there, but she's intent.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to lay out the bottom of this and I'm getting lost in my pattern. I know I've got it laid out wrong.
Work by itself with one click, Sherlock. I don't think any of them do that unless you're hitting buy it now. It's probably the only way you're going to get that. Oh, I love mine, Dawn. And it shouldn't be collecting dust. You should have made a dust cover for it. I know I did that tutorial.
Those.
Project party.
There you go. Really do. I haven't made any.
I'm being nosy on what Colleen's doing over there.
She's so quiet.
Trying to get the seam to go the direction I want it to go and not the direction it wants to go.
Yeah, what is up with that? Colleen is quiet today.
Woman on a mission.
Concentrating.
My mind wants to move on to the stuff for the farmer's market so badly.
Well, you could have brought that as your whip today.
I've never made anything for St. Patrick's Day.
Neither have I.
See, Brandy and I needed this.
Well, I'm going to FMQ my shamrock after we're done here.
Okay, let's go.
And I'm glad I got done as far as I did because I would be hopelessly behind. Well, Dawn, you should sell your scan and cut to somebody who'll use it.
Melissa, you're making me doubt myself. I was like, oh, did I put any of these whites on backwards?
I wasn't intending to. I did put whites on backwards.
That's what was making, I was thinking about you telling me that. Oh.
I brought a piece of that white out here too. Not sure this camera is going to show it, but you can see that there are definitely two different sides to it. Now, under my sewing machine, that doesn't show super well that it's got two sides. So, especially because I have my light under my sewing machine, I have a piece of cardboard over it so that you can actually see when I'm sewing. And under my sewing machine, it's almost impossible to tell which side is the right side. So I flipped a piece over, not once, not twice. I flipped it over 3 times. And I was like, I'm putting this thing down and I'm walking away now. I figured that was.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Sylvia.
The bear claw block.
Counting on my fingers.
I did that so many times on the bear claw block. Put it on backwards again. And I put it on backwards 3 or 4 times before I said, okay, you're going in timeout. So I set them up right and then I sew them wrong.
Sylvia, it is a pretty white on white. But I bought that's from the bolt that I bought from Marshall Dry Goods. So I have another, 10 or 15 yards of this stuff to go. And Dawn, with craft stuff, I'm a hoarder. It's like, if I get rid of that fabric next week, I'm going to need to make suddenly, 45 onesies for a baby or something stupid. Yeah, I've been using a lot of cotton sheets too. The blues that I did in the Scotty dog was all cotton sheets. And I didn't bring the Scotty dog out here, I'm sorry.
I like this size using the 5-inch.
Now,
Really,
what's it gonna finish at, Colleen?
Give me just a second. I will measure it. Whoops. Say that and then I go offside.
Brandy, I love your face when you're concentrating on cutting. Yeah.
I'm not the only woman on a mission.
I was watching somebody who was sticking their tongue out when they were cutting, and I was going, okay, that's weird.
It is hard to think when your tongue is in your mouth. I don't know why.
So
Wasn't
was it
gonna call you out,
Colleen who was
Colleen.
sticking her tongue out while she was cutting?
I know somebody did that, so I purposely don't do that. And it wasn't Sylvia. This was like 20 years ago.
Maria's working on a nurse tote bag. Somebody ordered one after seeing it on Wednesday's video. Awesome.
Oh, I saw your nurse tote bag and I thought, I know someone who needs one of those. My doctor I went to the other day, she is amazing. And I thought I need to do something special for her. Not all doctors listen to you and want to help you without 20 zillion visits.
I liked my old doctor, and he, I guess, moved on. The place I go goes through interns, and so he left, and they brought in a new one. And the first thing I said to her was, "Do not mess with my med regimen." And she's like, "Okay." It has taken forever to get it to where it works. Do not
Right.
mess with my medications.
If it works, don't mess with it.
That's
I
what-
don't think doctors like being told that you know what works for you. I don't think my other doctor really likes that, so I won't go to him. All the problems I have, I won't go to him unless it's an emergency. And then he wants me to go through the hoops, and I won't do it. I've been through him enough to know now that, hey, just give me a muscle relaxer. I'll take it a couple times a week. I'll be good. Don't even need pain pills. Although if you'd want to share some of those for the occasional,
Well, mine's the RA, and I used to have flares all the time where I literally couldn't walk. And they're like, "Oh, we can do better control for you." And I'm like, you know what? It's my hands that hurt and my shoulder. And that's better than not being able to walk to the bathroom without help.
yeah.
I'll take it.
Last night I almost got my cane. I thought, okay, I only need to make it to bed now. So
Exactly.
what is this?
What you got over there, Dawn?
I was just finally switching it to gallery view.
Get tired of looking at my special effects today.
This is 23 and a quarter.
I'm not messing with any settings. I'm not sure if I'd accidentally turn it off, so. I finally got it off looking at my own face, so I was like, okay, we're good there.
With the new setup that I'm doing on live with the 2 windows, I'm like, why do I have to look at my own face? Because when I do it in the other room, I have 2 different cameras, and I don't necessarily want to look at my face. I want to see what the camera is showing you guys, like on my desk. Because I'm inspired by how Brandy does her 2 camera setup, where you can see what she's working on and then, her face.
Aw,
I like Brandy's setup.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love this block. Yeah, you could make this for Christmas. You could make this for Valentine's.
yeah.
I still have one side to put on it.
That looks
Easter.
really good.
This block, this pattern. I guess it's not a block, it's pattern. You could make 4 of them and make a very cute baby blanket.
Yes, you could.
Listen to her. She's on a roll.
I need more babies.
She's inspired.
Not from me though.
I was gonna say, what? Are you nuts?
Grandbabies, nieces, nephews. Gimme.
I'll take the grandbabies all day long. I love mine.
Yeah, me too. If I'd known they was so great, I'd have had them first.
There you go. Well, and it's great. You spoil them, then you send them home.
Right?
Fill them up with sugar and then send them back.
That's right.
Take that.
Sylvia said she's noticed she puts her tongue in the gap in her front teeth. And she's got an ophthalmologist appointment finally. I hope I said that right. Tracy is almost done with her friend's quilt.
Oh,
Dawn, I've got a 7 p.m. on Monday night and then a 2 p.m. on Thursday. Maybe one of those works for you, but if not, team replay is great. I've overslept through 2 of Colleen's in a row. She's gonna shoot me if I don't get my tush there.
yeah. I'm not telling Melissa, but we're not friends anymore.
Oh, okay. Marie's Scrappy Creations. I use Zoom, and I don't remember. Do you use Zoom or do you just go live on YouTube?
Who, me?
You can use Zoom or Restream.
I use Restream.
I think
There's
Marie
also
uses,
Streamlabs and
Streamlabs.
OBX and a half a dozen others, but I know how to do it using Zoom. Brandy does it using Restream.
Yeah, my second view is my invited guest.
That's how I've been doing it on Zoom. Yeah.
If I had a phone or something that would last as long as alive, I would do that. Because I did try it with my phone. My phone did not like it.
I put my phone in the ring stand and then I have it plugged in while I'm using it so that my battery doesn't die.
I am so cheap. I need to go get.
The stand was $5, Colleen.
Yeah.
I think you sent me the link to it.
Yeah.
Probably.
But for that thing though, I need more. I probably need more plugins. Shockingly, I use all the plugins and then some. One day my husband's gonna smell something burning and there's gonna be something other than mine.
I have a USB cord for the ring stand and I plug it into, it's got 2 USB ports on one electric plug. So I plug it into that. I
My
don't know.
USBs on my computer does not work so well.
Oh, I don't use the USB on the computer for it. And you know, I'm learning not to call tech support and say, can you help me do this? Because he goes from, here's my level of understanding of tech stuff. It's down here somewhere. And he comes in and I'm like, I need to be able to run 2 cameras. And all of a sudden he's up here going, well, you need this and that and the other. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's bring it back down to something I can understand or that's not a huge leap, right?
I messed up. That's okay. I'm gonna fix it. I should have put this cornerstone on before. Should I cut it to size? Put my cornerstone on. Then some side. That's okay.
Tracy, that's terrible. And then there are days Brandy's second camera is an unwanted guest when she has to rip 96 blocks she sewed wrong.
No doubt.
Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry.
That happened. It happened. It
Oh, I've
sure
had to
did.
do it. The block I made on my Thursday live, I kept sewing the stupid flying geese. There's 2 colors, pink and green, and I kept sewing them on backwards. The pink has to be on one side, the green on the other. And I just kept doing it. I was like, okay, we're done sewing now. Because obviously,
Right? I'm telling you. Whew.
yeah, obviously I'm too dumb to do that.
Seems to get them turned around. That's why I find something super simple if I'm gonna do it on live. I need something that's not going to be smarter than me.
Well, I thought
during it.
that this block was going to be, I made it fine, not on a live. So I was like, okay, I've got this, we're good. Get on the live, and I'm like, love
That's what I did. I looked at the picture and I was like, oh yeah, you know, I know how to do this.
Now, Colleen,
Yes.
did you just have to Y-seam that block in there?
No, I did not. I stopped before I got to it. This strip was too long. I cut the strip off, guesstimated to this one. Then sewed the cornerstone on. Then I just went back where I stopped sewing and sewed it straight. But I can do Y seams. For some reason, Sylvia explained them perfectly to my mind.
That, what you just did is easier than that. You sew 2 side strips on, and then you put you've cut it to the right length, you put your end pieces on and sew it down.
Yeah. I forgot to put the end piece on and cut this piece. So I stopped back a little ways, cut this piece off, put the end piece on, and then finished.
Okay.
Oh, and that is just so stinking adorable.
It is
And
cute.
guess what? I'm finally done cutting.
You're finally done cutting.
Goodness gracious. My goodness.
So it took, what, 30 minutes to cut everything? The Sylvia method strikes again. Yes, Sylvia, it did. So how do you stack your cut stuff, Brandy? Do you put it on a design board or?
Usually, but currently all my design boards have stuff on them.
And how many
Right now.
design boards do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. 8, because I have that one that's kind of frame right now.
I have 4. I just decided I need to make some more, and I need to make some bigger ones. Yeah, Marie, I'm not very techie. I've gotten to be more techie as I have spent more time on YouTube. The very first video I put on YouTube after the mask video, because I did that like years ago. When I went to edit it, I was like, what do I do here? So I've learned as I've gone, thank goodness. But I'm still not great at it. Wayne wanted to buy me this super expensive OBX Streamlabs thing that does like 43 cameras and you can edit and turn it inside out and upside down. And I was like, yeah, let's go like Visual Studio. That's a little more my size. Colleen's flashing it around over there.
I like the seams. They're all pretty. That never happens.
Well, quit flashing it around and show us, doggone it.
Need to finish ironing the outsides, but well,
Yeah,
Budapest.
that
Lovely.
came out great.
they look like YouTuber seams. Yay!
You know why YouTube videos always look so great? Why it always looks like they're such great sewers and quilters? It's
Oh, I
because
do.
they can edit. They can take out all those boo-boos.
And only show you the parts that look good.
That's right.
That's true.
A well-placed hand over a seam or a boo-boo. Oh,
So
look
now-
at my fingernails. Don't see that seam that I screwed.
Yep.
And now everybody's going to be watching our videos going, what's she coming up with that hand?
Yep.
Wouldn't you like to know?
You know who I caught doing it? I caught, I could see her face, little duck, Jess, Oakland Roots. She was doing a video on, I think it was a purse. And I happened to notice that hand landed, but right before that hand landed over that seam, I saw a little tiny glitch there and I was like, oh, so that's how you always make it look perfect. She could be calling me out now going, shut up, Melissa.
You're blocked. Melissa's banned from the channel. That's good.
Colleen is the sewing Vanna. There you
You're
go.
in timeout.
Oh, sewing Vanna. That's cute.
Cheap paint boards and glued felt. And that's one way to do it, Sylvia. I did discover that mine made out of foam board with tape. I touched the tape. I touched the tape with the iron and melted the tape. Colleen Lynn says she doesn't want to be picky, but she thinks you might have sewn one of your blocks wrong. Can you show it close up?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's good. Turn it so we can see the other two. Yep,
Oh,
you may be right. I think that the one on the bottom right for you is turned wrong.
Bottom right for me.
Is that right, Lynn?
Oh, it is.
I did that one too.
Wait. Okay. Out, 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 out. Out, out.
Divorce lawyer.
I don't think it is. All should be pointing all the white. I need to read the comment. Okay. The whites are pointing up and to my right, up and to my left. Then let's turn it upside down, full spin. Up and to my right, up. Oh, to my left, this one right here. This one right here.
Yeah.
See? Now I'm trying to figure out, did I do that one last night or this morning?
Dawn,
Now I'll sew
Dawn
some
Denny is
YCs.
asking if you have a long arm. Yes, you do.
See if I can do this in Y seams. I take the whole thing apart.
Okay.
Should be able to just take that block out and turn it, but it depends
That's what I
on how your brain works.
think.
Dawn at My Quilt Projects. She is intent on what she's doing, I think. Oh, Dawn.
Corner.
Dawn Denny has a question for you.
Okay. Make 8 of those.
I do have a long arm, yes. Yes, and I've had my the current project on my long arm since August.
Brandy, do you send your quilts out or you do quilt them yourself? I don't remember.
I free motion on my domestic machine.
You do videos on that, Brandy? Why not?
I have one video so far. It's really hard for me to get a camera view. I do have a new doohickey here that I'm hoping will help me get a better camera view while I free motion. So that's my next project with those 2 that I finally got, witched.
I have up above me, there's a 2x2 that my lights are hung on. And I will take my Hue camera because it's got that flexible end. And I will put it up there and bend it until I can take pictures of my quilting when I'm on the Juki. I don't have a
Once I
way
have
to
more
do that in the
space.
other room.
Once I have more space, I need more space.
Once you take over that spare room that hubby thinks he's getting,
Right.
Dawn at My Quilt Projects, Dawn wants to know if you've ever done couching with it. I don't know what couching is.
Oh, I want to try
I
that.
want to try that. I do. The thing is, my long arm is a nolting long arm, and the rep that I brought it from during the pandemic, she had to find a different way of living because her way of living was going to the trade shows and selling long arms.
Oh.
And so she just became an EMT and totally dropped out of it and sold her business to a guy. And I have not met up with this guy, but so far the quilt shows around here, that guy's not been there. And so I'm very limited. I can go to their website and I can buy things, but they are not advertising any of their specialty feet as a couching foot. And their feet cost $75 a piece.
Wow.
I do not want to buy a foot that I can't use. So I
Right.
want to try couching on the long arm. I think that's amazing. And I think I can use my spoon foot, but I will have to make an adjustment to my machine. And it's not as simple as what it should be. So I have not tried that yet, but I want to.
What is couching?
Yes. I
So
need
it's
to
where
know.
you run your normal thread, and while you're quilting, you also put in through the hole of your foot, you put yarn, and
Oh,
it
okay.
stitches
I've
the
seen that.
yarn down. And I've seen it on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I want to try that, but I haven't tried it yet. So
I
You
have
know what I'm gonna
seen that.
do? I'm gonna fix this the laziest way I know how, which is going to be put a
No,
crease.
that's not lazy. That's work smart.
Going to work smarter.
There you go.
Now that I've undone this, I'm going to undo the, I'm going to pick the white fabric out, put a little green patch there. I'll undo this side and I'll put the little white patch there. Instead of undoing the whole thing, I'm gonna do
Sounds
both.
smart to me.
Nice.
And I bet you nobody ever notices. And if they do, they can go home.
That's right.
Oh. Thank you. Was it Lynn that noticed that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn.
I think you can use a normal zigzag open toe foot to do couching on a long arm.
You can do it on
Yes.
your regular machine like
Yeah,
that.
you can do it on your
what
regular
I've
machine.
seen.
Yes.
I have yarn because I knit and I thought that would be a great use for my yarn. I just never tried it. I don't know why when Sylvia explained to do the Y seam. So right up to the lot to your seam, stop at that seam. Like if I was going this way, stop at the seam, put the fabric down and then just turn. Stop at the seam. That's all it took to get me to understand Y seams.
Sometimes it's
And I've
different
seen other
people
people-
explain things different ways.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get my camera back up and working here. I think this thing is. It's what we've got for right now.
So worried about getting those whites pointing the right way. Forest for the trees.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Yeah, much better to spot it now than like,
After it's quilted.
after she gets it all quilted. Yeah. That would really stink. I like that idea. I would have turned the whole block. I would have never thought about just moving that white piece. Smart. Smart.
I've got
Different
Good
solution.
thing I have written down still what I did those white pieces as.
We're past our hour, but I'm like dying to see how she changes this. But I'm not sure Zoom won't kick us out at 10:30 because that's what I told it for the
Oh.
end time on the meeting.
So if we suddenly disappear,
Yes.
besides Dawn leaving, there wasn't technical difficulties. There she is.
I'm just lining it up on my corner that I have up there.
Dawn is concentrating hard on getting the right colors in the right places. Okay, Sylvia, you have a great day. Thank you for coming, even though you're not feeling good. I appreciate it.
Take care, Sylvia.
Hi, Sylvia.
Prayers.
I like that ombre effect you're getting.
Well, I think I got all my
Love you
9
too,
patches
Sylvia.
sewn. Whew.
They're beautiful.
Ooh. Did you already fix it?
The white corner should be fixed. Just a second. Get it tucked back in there. Really, I don't even have to do a Y seam. Oh yeah, I do. Don't be stupid.
to unfreeze.
Who froze? You freeze? Yep.
If
I mean,
it's
I'll
not the
fix it.
camera acting up, it's Zoom acting up.
Oh,
I thought I had fixed the camera. I unplugged
They're
it and
getting
beat
ready
it
to
up.
kick us out.
they went too far.
Time's up, folks.
So Brandy, how far have you gotten so far?
So I have gotten all my little squares pinned because I have learned with these tiny little squares, if I don't pin them, somehow they slip and then I end up spending time with the divorce lawyer.
Not good.
And with these tiny squares in divorce lawyer time, they end up all wonky. And I don't want to have to cut more squares. So we're all pinned and ready to sew.
Awesome.
That's gonna be pretty.
Yeah, it is. I like the colors. And how much progress have you made over there, Dawn?
Iron patches sewn, and I've pulled fabrics for the next quilt. I did that last night. And I don't know if any of y'all saw my videos last spring, but I did the Tilda's World Solids embroidery flower quilt. And they just came out with the new pattern.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
this is such an easy concept. You buy the grid interfacing and you cut your BOM or your bill of materials. So it tells you your different swatches of fabric, all your colors. And then you just cut your squares and the quantities it tells you. And then you lay it out according to the grid on the pattern by the number. So it's like a paint by number type thing where there's numbers like a cross stitch. You could probably do this with a cross stitch pattern and you just iron them on. So you instantly know if you've messed up or not because you're ironing it on, you're not stitching anything. And if you air sew with no bobbin, it doesn't matter because nothing will fall apart. You won't lose where you're at. I love using, and I'm going to make this one. This will be my
I
next
always
project.
wondered how they put those together.
Yeah,
That
that's how I put my last one together. I invested in a whole bolt of that interfacing and I was very pleased with how quick it went.
What is that called again?
The pattern is from tildasworld.com and you'll click on, I think it's called basics or maybe solids. And then there's a free pattern tab and it'll be the very first pattern. And then it's called grid interfacing and it is out of reach for me. Otherwise I would read the bolt to
We
see
did
what.
something like that when I was at my retreat, but it was like just a little thing. And we did like something like that.
Yeah. And you can buy the squares on point or regular. So you got to, I think that's the two different types. And I love it. The only thing I do not love about it, ooh, she fixed it. The only thing I do not love about it is when you go to press everything, because that backing is polyester, it doesn't want to press extremely flat. And then when you load it on your long arm, your seams are kind of bulky because they want to roll on you, but that's all. So
Go get a green piece to put in there. Or do I? Cannibalizing the border.
The
Binding.
scraps.
Yep. That's what I'm doing.
What you do is cannibalize the scraps.
This is actually the binding, so. Whoops.
Well, I
Maybe-
just put the link in there, Dawn.
I made
Didn't
it
I'm
wrong, so.
gonna look at it myself.
oh, let me try and find it.
Oh, you did.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
The mark of a good mod. How fast can they find a link that the creator mentioned? Sorry.
I would make a horrible mod. I'm not that fast.
Aren't you a mod on my channel, Brandy?
I can keep a chat going, but I can't find links that quick.
They say she's a mod on my channel.
I think she is on mine too.
I've started putting all the moderator channels below all of my videos, even my shorts, in case somebody wants to look.
I'm waiting to see Colleen's little fix here and see how well it works. Because that's a unique idea I never thought of doing. She keeps saying she's a newbie to quilting, but that's a cool idea.
Necessity is the mother of all invention.
Well, this is true, but I would have pulled the whole block out and turned it. I would have never thought to just fix the corners.
The thing about being new to quilting is you're not set in the ways of how everybody else learns. So
Right, you don't have any bad
Exactly.
habits.
You're like, oh, I can fix that. And everybody's like, why would you do it that way? Well, it seemed like the right way to do it to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think there's a right way and a wrong way. There might be a traditional way.
There you go.
That's the right way to say that. My first quilt, I put all my corner pieces on after. I was like, wait, I'm missing something here. Oh, it should have corner pieces.
The first
But if you
time I
mess up
saw
really
anybody
bad-
cut sashing up and
Okay.
put it on the blocks as they went, I was like, now that is so smart. Why my brain didn't come up with that is beyond me.
I'm pretty sure I started out watching Jenny Doan, who does that, so I wouldn't know any better.
I started out watching my granny quilt,
Oh.
you know,
I
and they
started out
didn't have
watching Jenny
rotary
Dawn,
cutters.
too.
She was lucky she had scissors.
The only thing passed down to me was crocheting. My mom passed that down to me.
$179 for a kit, Dawn. Oh my.
Yeah, and a lot of the fabrics in this, so some of them just require 10 inches of fabric. Let me, which just seems pricey to me. Quarter yard, the big cost of the kit is going to be the background. It takes 3 3/8 yards. 1/8 yard, 10-inch square, 8-inch square, quarter yard, 12-inch square, 10-inch square. So a lot of the fabrics, that's why I'm just going to make mine out of my scraps, because I don't want to spend $179.
I
But
thought way back.
do what you do what you got to do. So
Yeah. I bought way back a quilt kit from somebody for Lori Holt. And I swear I've got enough fabric left over from that first kit to make 4 more. Because it's like, really? $300 worth of quilt kit and fabric and blah, blah, blah. And I needed a third of what I had or what I bought.
Let me tidy up the stitches a little bit, but I don't think it's noticeable at all.
Of course, I
So-
don't cut as generously as Lori Holt does.
So when you use the grid interfacing, that's another shortcut. Instead of cutting 1,194 squares for the background, there's a lot of dead space around the edges to where you can just cut strips and then just iron them down, and it works the same. And you save a bunch of time doing that. Let's see. So that's the biggest piece count. And then fabric number 6 requires 47. No, hang on. Fabric 16 requires 58 2-inch squares. So
That
That's
did
the
work
big
out
one.
really well, Colleen.
yeah.
It's dark, so you're not seeing the. There we go.
Well, by the time you quilt it,
Wow.
nobody will see that anyway.
Right there.
Not seeable by me.
Yeah.
And I moved one over here.
Galloping horse.
Look at that.
Galloping horse.
If you can't see it from the back of a galloping horse,
Your
it
horse,
doesn't matter. And if you can see it, then your horse needs to go faster.
that should be on a t-shirt. Voila. And you got to see how to pick out something and replace it without taking your entire block apart. because who wants to do that?
I think that's an awesome hint.
Yeah.
I didn't even really do a Y. It didn't feel like a Y seam because I just sewed down one side and I stopped at the seam line, picked my foot up and went back and sewed up to that seam line that I just made. And that's something you were talking about, the fabric waste that's cut off. Doing those cool tech things again.
Yeah.
Stephanie Stitches, Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. I think she writes her patterns to use your fabric as efficiently as she can.
I agree.
I don't think she does it to sell more fabric because there's just not a lot of waste in her cutting. She's a quilter too. And she's on a budget too. She's got kids. She's got a family. And I appreciate that she's not, well, trying to upsell by that. I love that. You could make a quilt for all seasons. Do a shamrock, the Valentine's, 4th of July.
That would look lovely hanging on the front door at my house.
That's what Sylvia did with hers, was hung it on her front door.
Yeah.
Got all my corners done.
I need to send it to Dawn and let Dawn quilt it.
Now,
It might be on there for a year.
we're going to expect a short from you very soon to show us that you
Please.
finished your shamrock.
Oh,
Yes.
Stephanie has a Facebook page, doesn't she?
Yes.
She
I know
does.
Melissa does. So if you finish them, I don't have Facebook, but I can send Melissa a picture and she can help me out getting it on Facebook to those ladies. Let her know you've done it. Show it off.
Yeah.
It's last year's pattern, but clearly still beautiful.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it works out great. All right. So I'm going to go through everybody here. Colleen, you have a live Monday morning at 6:30 Central Time, which is
AM.
7:30 Eastern. What else have you got coming up?
I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to figure out things to sew for that farmer's market once I get this finished and it's just this close.
So she almost got the top done, right?
Yes.
Okay. Dawn, you have you're not doing lives right now, but you're putting out videos. What's your project that you're doing right now?
I don't know.
Are you doing
I'm not-
anything with your viewers or just
I'm-
working on
I'm-
stuff for yourself?
I'm trying to engage them with shorts because last week I made a short that got 1.2K views. So I'm trying to do the shorts to where whatever I'm working on, I just make a little minute video and get it uploaded.
That's what I-
So most of the stuff that you're seeing in my shorts is things of the past.
So nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
It's still
Some of those
inspiration.
older.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Colleen.
I said still inspiration.
That's right. Some of those older things, it's like, oh yeah, I did that. Let me think about that and do it again. Yeah.
Use
And
different
then
fabrics.
Brandy, what are you doing right now besides the shamrock?
I am working on my live. I'm working on a stacked blooms from my open gate quilt box, and then I'm finishing this back here behind me, and quilting, free motion quilting a couple of my quilts. And I'm homebound all week, so I will
Ooh.
probably have some pop-up lives or something. I don't
Are
know.
you on vacation this week or are you?
My husband is on vacation. He's going camping. My back is bad this week. I can't do the whole tent thing. I can't do it this week. So he's going with his brother, and I'm hanging out and quilting this week.
Awesome. Well, and then Brandy has a live Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central. Is
Yep.
that right? Okay, so that's 10 a.m. Eastern for the rest of us, or for me. I think I'm the only Eastern timer here. I'm going to go hide in a corner now. That never happens.
I forgot to adjust your times for Brandy when I sent Brandy the initial time. It was yours. It says 9 a.m. I forgot to say, be aware that is Eastern Standard Time. Because in my head, I'm just like, okay, I know that's 8 o'clock my time.
Yeah, I'm the odd woman out on this group.
It's about time.
Yeah,
Have you guys noticed
usually
everybody in the Eastern
But I would give anything for her weather out there. So, hey.
Yeah, you might not. We are under, this is, we get weather alerts like from the county and from the National Weather Service. And usually they're about things like hurricanes or thunderstorms coming in. The last 4 days, all we've gotten is red flags. So every time you turn around, your phone is going off with a red flag warning. And red flag means that conditions are ripe for the glades to catch fire.
Oh,
It's not
Wow.
even somebody has to start a fire outside or throw a cigarette out a window. It's like literally so hot and so humid that the glades can just spontaneously catch fire.
And
And
that's
we, of
dangerous
course,
for
live on
multiple
reclaimed
reasons.
swampland.
And
Oh,
you've got
wow.
all the critters trying to escape the fires. Wow. I
Right.
watched Miami CSI or something like that once.
Yeah, so I guess
Sorry,
it's
I get my
like
information.
She's like, I've seen that
there used to
episode.
be stories about people exploding into fire, like all on their own.
Spontaneous
the-
combustion.
Yeah, so there you go, spontaneous combustion. Thank you. Well, that's what the glades are on the verge of doing.
Oh.
So we're getting red flag warnings about that. So right now I'm like, I'm not loving living in Florida. So we've been making sure we keep everything well watered around here. And of course, there's my camera again.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Melissa, for
Florida.
having us all. And I had a good time, ladies.
I always
been
have fun.
fun.
I kill my camera again and then come back so I can at least say goodbye instead of being a negative. Yeah, ladies, thank you very much. I hope that you guys will join us again next time we have a sewing bee. And thank you for being here. Everybody have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for spending time with
Thanks.
us. And we will see you all soon. Bye-bye.